And by the look of that, we're good to go. So, Dr. Jones checking in for the Eski Couch. I have brother Timmy with me as always from start to finish. You've been here, brother. And we've got brother Kyle checking in from the semi-pro Eskimo Brothers winning team on the weekend. So, how are we, boys?
Yeah, going well, guys. Going well. Good to see you all.
I was going to say, I'm not as good as Kyle. That's that was awesome to see, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, it was a good event. It's good to get the win. So good to kick the season off with a win, kick the team off with a win. So it's only up from here.
It was good, and you had sort of a few little roster niggles leading into the event. You dropped a couple of guys, and some of them you knew weren't coming in, and then a couple dropped late in the game. But you picked up a couple of handy little pickups there.
Yeah. Well, at one point, I think we had 3.5 or four players confirmed for the round a week out, and we were in all sorts. But we picked up a couple late additions, and it all just came together in the end. And it all just worked.
And I think like having Grace there, like Grace is like she's got solid gun skills, but she's a like epic communicator. Like she you can just hear her voice everywhere, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
She played a pretty big part for you guys. Yeah,
no, definitely having her, because we were going to have Beck and we lost Beck, so we didn't really have a back centre or really anyone's a strong communicator. So we picked her up, and she went great guns all weekend. She was the backbone from the centre every single point. She was on point every point, doing her job, making sure everyone knew everything that was going on. It was big.
It was good, yeah. And Louie Barnes made his return to tournament paintball. Like he wouldn't have played on a tournament field for like 20 years or something. So
I think he said that was his first speedball event. I think everything else he's played has been on the old like hyperball field. Everything.
Yeah.
So it was good to see him out there. It was he's a good bloke, really good value.
Yeah, he is.
He had a good time out there.
Yeah. So Bluey used to play with the Top Hack Jokers way back when. So
I was going to say I knew the name. Like I've never met the bloke myself, but I knew his name.
Yep. So he got bitten by the bug. It'd be 16 months ago he came out and played, and then when I was working at the shop, he was in there all the time, looking at gear, buying a new gun. Oh, what's this one? And just happy to be amongst it, which is cool. And another bloke that made the comeback was BB. So
Jamie called that one actually.
Yeah, he gave us the scoop on the Eski Couch.
He said BB coming back in would be the big fletch to you guys.
Yep. And BB just come in and did BB things, like just when he needed to bust shit open, he did, didn't he, Kyle?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure from memory he was one of. We had quite a few touch points there in the prelims where we hit the buzzer to get either to draw it up or to get in front with seconds to go, and he was one of them. I think there was seconds on the clock, and it was a 2-on-2 with about 30 to go, and he managed to get 2 out, and then with 8 seconds left, sprint halfway down the field, hit the buzzer with a second to go. That won us one of our prelims, so it was it's good to have him there. He's a good all-round bloke. He was a good poker, good paintball head to have on the field. So
that's a good amount of wisdom for him that he likes sharing, and he's good at it. So
and
always nice to see him out there.
Yeah, it is, and he doesn't do it often enough, unfortunately. And I keep in his ear that he's got to keep making these comebacks, and pretty soon it just won't be a comeback anymore.
Well, he did mention that his missus was quite happy that there was no paint bill from that event.
Because you guys took a handful of cash on the weekend as well. So
yes,
you walked away with profits.
Yeah, it's always good. It's always good when you turn a profit for an event. So.
100%.
Taking Mike's money is always great.
Amen to that. It is one of those things that is enjoyable to do. And did Mike count the money out for you, or did Johnny do it, Kyle?
Johnny did. Yeah. Johnny.
Okay.
Yes. No. We got it all in the end. It was good. It was it was very, very good to walk up to the counter at the end of the event, not have to pull your card out and think about how much you're going to have to tell the missus that you spent for the weekend.
And get someone to back it up for you. No, very good. There was some great paintball played, which was good. There was a little bit of controversy out there as well, which, it wouldn't be an event without a bit of controversy. But, like Billy kept getting called on what he thought was rub, but what the rest were calling as hits. But he does have a bright green gun as well. So
yeah, that bright green gun. I think he's going to want to take a piece of sandpaper to that after the event. So
or a tin of spray paint onto that hopper.
Yeah, that'd work as well.
Everything he had was that colour. So just nice fluorescent green. Not doing him any favours over there. So he had a bit of a hard time. We did, so that's 2 events that the Eskimos have won, pro, semi-pro, ticked off, which is really good for the club and really good for the program, and really good for the people that support us, which is pretty good. And speaking of people that support us, you got to shoot this gun on the weekend, Kyle, which was the Lux X. However, Timmy, you know how you could program the old Luxes?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do it to the Lux X's.
Yeah, man.
So I was a little bit bored Monday afternoon. So I had to play around and I downloaded the voice pack for this gun, Kyle, because you know how I didn't have any noise on it because I hated the woman's voice. Anyway, here we go.
The power of the force is strong in this one. Force power remaining 80%. Firing mode NXL.
So I put Yoda on there just for a laugh. And now this is good too. We'll just turn it off again.
Started. System shuts down. It has. With you always, may the force be.
So you can do.
You almost need to go jam a speaker into one of the Field 1 forces for that one.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Especially the force is strong.
Yeah.
So I was quite chuffed when I figured out you could still do that, because I knew you could do it on the 2.0 and the OLEDs and all of them really, but I didn't know you could still do it to them. Because no one's done it on a Lux X. Like no one has a voice pack on.
No, the majority of players tend to, like, I know I've got Mr. Meeseeks talking on mine just for the shits and giggles of it, but my next one I'm probably going to mute just because you get fed up of hearing something talk at you.
100%.
Great when you're going through and programming, but when you're just generally going out there to play, it's just shut up, do your thing and go.
And that's I had the noise turned off on that one for that exact reason, because I used to just, would you just shut up, woman? So, but yeah, I was pretty happy when I found that you could still do it. So I played around with that, which was good. And I had all the voice packs. Obviously, when I made the intro for this, I downloaded the voice packs to try and edit it up and stuff. But yeah, it was cool. That might be my next thing, to put our opening noise on the gun. There we go.
Yeah.
And then we can send it on to all the Eskimos out there that they can have the Eskimo experience on their Lux X.
It sounds like a catch on to me.
Yeah, it's good. All right. So thoughts on the layout, Kyle? How did you finish up with your thought process on it? Were you happy? Was it a polished turd? Obviously you got the win, so we can't let that play into it too much.
Yeah, look, I didn't mind, personally, I didn't mind the layout. I think I played on the snake side. I think if I had been a D side player, it's probably not, there's not much that you could do over that D side. It was all pretty much, you dominate the snake, you dominate the 50, you dominate the match. Didn't matter if you were, the other team had the best D side in the game, or at least in our division. I don't know if it's the same up with you guys, but that seemed to be where all the killing happened and all the game.
I was going to say that is an interesting point of difference from the pro weekend.
And that's like that was something I noticed as well. Like the center bunkers didn't play as strong in semi-pro. Like there were a couple of people that played it, but it wasn't as solid. And likewise the Dorito side, like when people got to the 50, it wasn't like, it didn't bust it open like it did on the pro weekend.
That definitely, like we had some good killers. Like Jordan, he ripped up over there.
Yeah,
every chance he got, but a lot of the time it was taking for me to get to the stake 50 before
Free
he could
them up.
Going to town.
Take that pressure off.
Yeah. And that was, there was one point where he got there and he was really really keen to just make it happen. And he come round and just got his face shot off. And I just made the point to him, look, man, once you get there, just chill for a minute, because all of a sudden all the guns are going to point at you. And then, Kyle's going to be free to go to work on that side, and that was, once that mentality got happening with the team, it sort of played a little bit differently where they just chilled a bit, which was good. And old man Rob Simkin, he had a good weekend too out there, didn't he? So,
yeah, he killed it out there. I think when he had a clutch point as well, 6 seconds to go, and he ran 3/4 of the length of the field. He got the buzzer and he came off, and I didn't think he'd make it back to our after that. But he had a really solid weekend out there. He went out, did his job every single point that he needed to, and took the G's and did what he had to. It was good.
Yeah, and he's another old paintball head that just keeps ticking on and just keeps loving it. It's funny. One thing he said to me, it might have been last year. He goes, man, if we win a series, do we still get rings in semi-pro? And I was like, nah, man, they haven't done that for years. And he's like, oh man, I was hoping to add to it to me Razorbacks one. So, but yeah, he was a little bit upset. There's no more ring.
Oh, we'll have to get him another trophy later in the year.
Yeah, see, looking after him.
Yeah, we've got another 3 to win, so
that's it. Very good. In other news, NXL dropped their draw for the Mid-Atlantic Major. Did you see that drop down, Timmy?
I did. I had a good squeeze at that one.
Yeah.
Seems to be it's going to be another tight one for the Heat boys to get back out, but it's a little bit better than last time.
Well,
I say a little bit.
It is a little bit.
That bracket C though, from memory, that was the pretty gnarly looking one.
Yeah. So bracket C, you got Damage, Revo, Dynasty, New York Extreme, and ML Kings in Group C. Group B is Infamous, X Factor, Heat, NRG, and LVL. And yeah, Group A is Impact, AC Diesel, Outlaws, Iron Man, and DMG. And then Group D's, I think Group D will be good to watch, like Russian Legion, Seattle Thunder, Aftermath, AC Dallas, and Uprising. I think that'll have a couple of good games in it too.
You would think so. I mean, you go off the last one, you can't pick it. It'll be interesting to see though if teams have done their usual, like work out the new teams or the new rosters, and then put them in their place, sort of deal, like you quite often see. How the rest of it shakes out, I mean, it's pretty even split across it. As I say, like Infamous, I still think were a bit of a surprise to everyone that last event. They definitely deserve to be in the final for sure over everyone. But I would be very intrigued to see if they can back that one up. Which is why I'd be saying out of that one, I'm taking the guess that it'd be X Factor and Heat get out of that bracket. Yeah.
I think that one of those things where that layout just played to their style really well. And I think that had a major part. I don't think they're at that point where it doesn't matter what the layout is, they'll be competitive, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's going to be good to see. It's going to be good to see him and see if Damage can go that next step this time.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. Like they've been chopping it at it and been knocking on that door for a while now. Just be nice to see him get over the line.
And see if we can get Russian Legion down into that tier 2. So.
God, they keep having to throw together a team and they still manage to keep pulling themselves through and being right up there.
It's crazy, eh?
That's their man. That's their program. It always has been.
Yeah.
They might have a rough event, but it doesn't last more than 1 or 2.
No, that's it. So it is going to be good. I personally, I don't think it can come quick enough. It is still a long way off. You know, we're still a month out from that event. But yeah, I'm keen to see how it lands this time. Keen to see what they do with the layout too. Then maybe we can stop talking about this one that we've had in Sydney.
We've got some other local events coming up soon that we'll have some better layouts going for. So
won't be hard.
Well, I know I'm running the second WA round the week before this next major event in the States. So I haven't seen the layout, obviously, but take a stab in the dark that I might steal that layout and play that one.
Yep.
Just to give us something nice to play.
Yeah.
Bit of fun.
Couple of tips for the US boys leading into their event, mate.
I think they'll be doing fine at their own trainings that week.
Couple of game tapes to watch from WA.
Oh yeah, just cream of the crop right there.
Yeah, 100%. And that'll be your first event back, yeah?
Second. So I've played our first local one. I just had to miss this one of 7. Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah, it definitely won't be by that stage. I had the lens surgery, but it'll be long afterwards, hopefully.
Yep.
That I'm going back under the knife for the last time. So yeah, try and get all those P's and Q's sort of minded and get sorted before we get too close to the next round of the 7s.
Yeah, which is important. We need you over here, mate. We missed you.
I miss being there, man. It was weird.
Almost wasn't the same.
As I said to my guys, like and I said it last week. My heart can only take so much sitting back watching from the other side of the country, like especially when you're investing in 2 teams in the event.
Yep.
And then when they start playing off against each other, you're just like, okay, shit.
That's what would make it hard, you know.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was hard watching at the event.
Yeah.
But at least I was there, you know. You can still ride that emotional wave, but sitting at home would have done my head in. So
is what it is. Been there, done that before, man.
Yeah.
Don't want to make a habit of it.
True that. All good. So the amateur guys are up this weekend at Action, brought back to a 1-day event as well. So they did, you know, Mike did put up there that it was a 2-day event, but it has gone back to just 1 day as well. How did you enjoy the 1-day event, Kyle?
Look, it was good to get it over and done within 1 day, but I think it's just not quite enough paintball for me for an event. I prefer 2. I would have preferred. I know it's hard with 6 teams. You've either got to play everyone twice, which, you know, for some of the other semi-pro teams might be not as feasible for some of the other players and teams. But I wouldn't have minded seeing like a 7 or 8 round event where they do random for the extra 2 or 3 rounds. But then obviously you're still going to get people complaining that they've got tougher draws than others. But
100%, yeah.
Yeah,
so
there's no easy answer to that one.
Yeah. Hopefully next round we can a few more teams put their hand up to come along with the event, and hopefully it'll go back to 2 days. Fingers crossed.
Is there word of the extra teams coming back in?
Look, I haven't heard. I know, like, you know, it's whether Immortal Knights come over, I guess, whether Asylum can, you know, obviously they lost 2 solid players, being Chris Thomas and Young Simo, and Dave Shouters. So they lost 3 solid players. So whether they rebuild and bring someone up and bring a team up is a different story. And it's just a matter of who can get it together and enter. So I'd love to see it. Like I'd love it to get back to that sort of 10 number. So
the other cool thing would be is the other cool thing would be is if there's a couple of teams this weekend that do well with AMS, decide they want to step up. Guys, the biggest advice any of us will give you is play the better competition. If you find yourself comfortable in amateur, step up from the next event. Mike will happily have you fill those ranks out, take it to a proper 2-day event, and you will learn and accelerate your growth heaps.
Yep. And that's, look, there's a couple of teams that have been sitting down there for a while that I think should go up, you know, like they've played there long enough. And, you know, like, and there's teams that have got solid ballers that were just originally down there because, you know, they couldn't play set. Like, we'll take the Bush Pigs. They've got a pretty solid roster.
Yeah.
And they were only playing down there because they had to ref, the pro, semi-pro weekend, so they couldn't do it. But now that's, you know, you could take that argument out and they could just play up there. So, which I think would be great if they did that. I think it'd be a great move. I did jokingly, speaking of the Bush Pigs, after Billy and Yowie had a little bit of a disagreement, Billy's reffing this weekend coming, and I said to Yowie, well, you better watch out, mate. You're going to have a target on your back now.
He's going to be watching him like a hawk.
Oh, mate, anything. He'll tread on a paintball, will squirt up his leg, and he'll call him out. So,
it's one of those horrible things. You don't want that retaliation because all of a sudden it starts coming back on you, and it's becomes a bit of a vicious cycle. That one.
Yeah, well,
we've seen that kick around over the years.
Yeah, 100%. And let's hope it doesn't. You know, like I hope that's not a determining factor for the event. But I personally, I would love for the Bush Pigs to step up. I think they'd hold their own up there rather than kicking around in AMS, especially if they got all their players together. You know, like Bitch and have like 3 or 4 of them on there. You know, that'd make their team a solid team, which would be good. And then they could make that move. So, all good. So we do have 2 Eskimo teams in this weekend. So Eskimo Blizzard and Avalanche. Avalanche? Yeah, Eskimo Avalanche, which is Tash's team. They went down and played the NXL last weekend, so they're getting plenty of reps out at other events.
That's good. That's fantastic. I know they didn't place last weekend, but there's shake that one off and come in strong on this one. Yeah,
and look, they played an Asylum, full strength Asylum squad with Jake Mail Baxter. You know, like, so that's, you know, in another Super Sevens round, that'll be 3 pro. Yeah, that up and coming Jake Mail Baxter. Another Super Sevens round, that'll be 3 pro players on their squad. You know, but yeah, it will be. It is good for them to go down and do that, and I admire them for doing it and taking their licks, which is good. They do have some great players in that team, like Jaden Ladd. He's got good gun skills and he's coming along nicely. I speak about Paul Ardle because he is just, he just has good survivability. And Angus Renton's got good survivability. Jordan Cosley, Ranger Jordan, he's in the squad as well. So it will be good to see what they can do. I reckon they will get a podium at this event. I reckon they'll come in strong. But I also think the Bush Pigs will take it out. I think they'll take the win this weekend for sure. Yeah. So let's see if I can put the commentator's curse on them. So
go in there to start poking them. Throw a little bit more chalk in their paint.
Yes.
Actually, there's a question for you, Kyle. How was your paint this weekend?
Well, surprisingly, I'd heard everything from you guys about the chalk, and it was on there when we pulled the paint out of the bags when we were potting up. We could see the chalk in the seams, and some of them had the little full-on little spots of it. But I had no problems all weekend. I had shot perfect, shot fine.
No, that's great to hear, man. That's always good.
Yeah, with Jonesy's good old luck. So, and
that's good to hear, especially coming off the discussion last week.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I know no one else on my team had anything that I really heard of in terms of it, and no one else really at the event. I don't think that I made a big deal about any issues with the paint. So I don't know whether an extra week of sitting there helped it or we just got lucky.
I think you guys managed it pretty well too. Like you did, you cleaned hoppers out, you took that sort of bit of advice on as well and didn't leave it till stuff went wrong, which was good. There were murmurings from people that's why they weren't doing as well as they should have been, and that's always going to happen. That the paint only affects one team, of course, it's only their problem. But yeah, it's you're always going to have that. But look, you just didn't smash paint, did you? You know, and
no, we didn't have any issues with breakages or no hopper jams, no nothing. So we were happy with it. If I hadn't have heard everything you guys said about it, I would have come in here and said it was fantastic. So.
Yeah.
No, sweet. I mean, look, there's a bunch of different factors that play into it. Like as we were talking about last week, Jonesy, there's just not just the paint itself, but the fact that the pros shoot 15 balls a second. If everyone's trying to get that peak out of their guns, their hoppers, the paint needs to respond all at the top of its game. If one of those is slightly out, that'll screw with others. So I wonder if just that slightly slower rate of fire for you guys sort of just sort of alleviates a bit of that issue that might have come through.
Gave a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. We don't play as many points one after another as you guys. You know, it's only a race to, what is it, Mercy 3 for us.
Yeah, Mercy 3.
So, you know, we're not playing 5-6 points per match. So we're shooting a fair bit less, which might have helped with it also.
You guys did Mercy a few teams on the weekend too. So
yeah, we got the big Mercy early on. So against the other that started the weekend off well. But we got
and so those boys were not happy.
Yeah.
More so with themselves than anything else. Like I spoke with Connor after the event, and he was just disappointed in himself more than anything else. I think we did the old commentator's curse to them, put a bit more weight on their shoulders, given how much work that they were doing. But I think it was a lesson for them, I suppose for everyone, that as much pressure as you put on yourself, you need to be able to bear that pressure.
Yeah.
Still need to go in and enjoy the day, enjoy the event, enjoy whether it be a 1 day, 2 day, whatever. Go through. I mean, hell, Kyle, you said yourself, you guys didn't have a solid roster until last minute, but you took it on your shoulders, had fun with it, and crushed it.
How many of you guys trained on the Saturday before?
How many teams went out?
No, just how many on your squad?
We had 5 or 6 of us.
5 years out? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we had, I think, all from, I think it was 5 or 6 of us,
Yeah, cool. So you did get some reps on it beforehand and got a little bit comfortable, which is good. So
yeah, I think that having that Saturday to go and train, really, it did help. That was one benefit of the 1 day event, was we could get out there against the other teams and, you know, see what the limited time we did get and the limited points we did get in the training. We could see what was going to work, what wasn't going to work for us. So
yeah, cool. All good. Yeah, very good. All right. Any other news?
No, I know we've got some results out of Victoria, but Kai, obviously, they've had the fun of Victoria this week, and he's once again going into lockdown, and his better half is off working with that. So we might hold off that discussion till next week, because we can have a first-hand account of that sort of fun that went down for apparently going straight to one-on-ones.
Yeah, true.
So that's going to be an interesting one to hear all about that one. I missed Dwayne's show last night, so I know he had a few details, but it'd be interesting to hear it from the horse's mouth from Kai next week. And other than that, I think that's been about it.
Yeah, I didn't, obviously, non-Facebook person that I am, I didn't hear any of it. I did see a post on Instagram from the Adelaide Assassins boys saying they come away with some silverware. So
they got second. They went through, tied the final, and went to, I think it went straight to one-on-ones. Don't quote me on that. Like, I need to look into it further myself. But we'll leave that one for Kai to have a chat about next week. Yeah,
cool. We'll do that. I'll try and get hold of whoever wins this weekend and see if they're keen to come on the show next week. And we'll see how the cookies crumble at that event, which will be good to see.
Yeah, gotcha.
Cool. All right. Anything else you want to add, Kyle?
No, that's about it. Thanks for having me.
Mate, thanks for coming on. Congratulations on the win once again.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's great to see you find that banner high.
Yeah, thanks, Timmy. Thanks, Jonesy. Hopefully the start of a very good season. So.
Yes. So we're keen for that, mate. Keen for you boys to rep it hard and come away with a nice little series, which would be very, very sweet for you. So,
yes, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Cool.
Work.
That's it. All good. All right. Well, that'll just about do us then, I reckon, eh?
Yeah, sweet. Nice, short and sweet for us.
Short and sweet. Job
of late, anyway.
Yeah, it's not an hour 20 like last week. So, but yeah, all good. So we will check out. We'll be back next week with the winners of Super Sevens AMs. And are we going to do that one as a live one, Timmy? What do you reckon?
I reckon we drop back to our normal, man. Get something back on Spotify.
Perfect. Happy to do that. So we'll do that. It won't be live. You'll be able to catch the recap of me and Timmy talking with the winner. And we'll also have a new host of the show checking in next week. Nick's had a few things come up in his personal life with study and work, and he's just burning the candle at both ends. So he's going to do that. So we do have a replacement coming in for Nick, which will be pretty good to see.
Can we say it's a replacement anchor?
No, it's not a replacement anchor.
Oh.
No. We'd never get
I
a
just
word in
slipped
between
the
him
anchor. Oh, yeah, I know, but I had to slip the anchor mentioning because we almost got through an episode without talking about it.
Almost, I was trying. So, but could you imagine Macca and Kai on here? So,
oh God! You and I can just sit back and sleep.
Yeah, job's done. I'll just click start now, boys. Right as you were. So we will have a new host of the show checking in, and he'll bring his input, which will be nice to have another perspective. So all good. Kyle, thanks again for your time, my man. Timmy, as always, brother, thank you.